I don't think anyone can underestimate how powerful food is to bring people together and to share love and to receive love as well. Pete Evans is dangerous. Pete Evans wants to kill your babies. Pete Evans is a crackpot. I was like, wow, okay. What they told me through the early stages of the COVID, they said, Pete, you got to understand that the public is getting brainwashed through the mainstream media. They said, times that by 10 if you're in the hospital system. I think Bitcoin will be the one that is going to transform the world. Also, primal ancestral diets has the ability to revolutionise the healthcare system, the health of the fucking planet. You can't force people to change their lifestyles, and I would never do that. We've witnessed one side of that with COVID.
Yeah.
You know, you must mask, you must stay indoors, you must do this, you must fuck, who are you to tell me what to do? Our belief systems are so powerful that if you believe something is going to hurt you or make you weaker, then guess what? That's probably going to happen. Can we manifest sickness in our bodies through our beliefs? 100%.
Absolutely.
Can we heal ourselves or perhaps stay healthy because of our beliefs? 100%.
Hello and welcome to another episode of You're the Voice. Here I am again at Treasure offices in Prague, about 8 months after the last time I've been here. Thank you, Treasure, for hosting me. Hello, Pete Evans.
Hello, Efrat.
How are you?
I'm fantastic. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here with me. Australian, Israeli Australian, we meet in Vegas, now we meet in Prague. It's like, what the hell is happening?
Go Treasure as well.
That's right.
We love Treasure.
Absolutely. Well, Pete, it's an honor to have you. We were supposed to meet in Sydney a few months ago, and then you had a natural disaster near your house, so you couldn't fly out, right?
Yeah, that was going to be the first time speaking about Bitcoin in a public arena for me, and we had a cyclone that was coming through, so I had to pull out of that event to make sure that I wanted to be with my wife, make sure that she was okay and the property was okay. So reluctantly, I had to pull out of that event, but it was for the right reasons. And then we got to meet up in Bitcoin Vegas, which is my initiation into a Bitcoin conference, my first Bitcoin conference, and that was great. Wonderful to speak at, and now here in Prague and speaking here as well. And, sometimes I pinch myself because I never thought that I would ever be speaking about finance. It's such a foreign concept for me for most of my life, but now I feel like it is so important, and Bitcoin is a solution, I believe.
Who would have thought that I would have a podcast where I talk so much about money and finance? It's so strange, but it's as if Bitcoin is this vortex that pulls us in, even if we come from other vectors of life, other areas, because it has so much to give to everything else in our lives. So I'm not surprised that you're here. I'm not surprised that we are both talking about this. But I want to start, for my audience that may not know you, I want to start with a quick intro just to
go for it. Not
so
too
they
long.
Can
not
catch
too
up.
long though.
I mean, my Australian audience knows you for sure, but all my other audience may not. So just so you guys understand who we're sitting here with.
I hope you haven't got this from Wikipedia or
No, I got it from a good source, from you. So Pete is an internationally renowned chef, author, speaker, and documentary producer who became a household name through hit TV shows like My Kitchen Rules and Movable Feast, right? Movable Feast
was in the US. Yeah.
In the US, right. After building a successful career in the culinary world with over 30 cookbooks and numerous award-winning restaurants, after shifting his focus to regenerative health and holistic wellness, and he became one of the first high-profile figures to be widely deplatformed. We're going to talk about that. He now shares his message through the Evolve podcast, wellness retreats, and films like The Magic Pill. Pete is a vocal advocate for personal sovereignty, ancestral living, and the role of Bitcoin in reclaiming individual freedom. Did I do a good job?
I think you did. Was that AI?
This is like half me, half ChatGPT.
Love it.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, perfect. It could have gone anyway.
Yeah, it could have gone
name.
so many directions.
Don't Google me, whatever you do.
No. And I verified everything here. And also, I'm the first one, I think, to show this, right?
Apart from my wife, yes.
Yes, but to show it on a podcast, I'm probably the first one.
You are.
So this is Pete's new book, number 31, right?
Yeah, about that, 31 or 32.
Right. It's called The Primal Code, Bitcoin, Ancestral Diets, and Hodling Your Health. This is it. And this is coming out in a hardcover.
Hardcover this week. And ebook today.
And it's going to be glossy because Pete reckons that when it's glossy, the pictures show better. But how can you resist even when it's matte? It's insane. Like the whole way here on the Uber, we were both like looking at the pictures, just mouth-watering over them. So we're going to talk a bit about the Primal Code. We're going to talk about your history. But let's start with the first question. Was there a pivotal moment that shifted your focus from culinary entertainment to advocating for regenerative health?
Well, that's a good question. So a little bit about backstory. Restaurant owner, as you mentioned, professional chef for a very long period of time, working 80 to 100 long hours in the kitchen per week for 20 plus years, and ended up on television teaching people how to cook. That's what celebrity chef actually means. It's just a teacher of this craft, which is the culinary arts, which I love. It's such a beautiful, beautiful
gift.
Yeah, it is something that I don't think anyone can underestimate how powerful food is to bring people together and to share love and to receive love as well, whether you're cooking for yourself or somebody has cooked for you, or you're sharing that yourself to others or yourself as well. And I think cooking is sometimes overlooked for its importance in our life and the fact of eating consciously, and we can talk about that. But to answer your question, as I was getting older, I was becoming more and more inflamed, putting on weight, and I didn't think that was the future that I wanted to have, where your health goes downhill for the rest of your life.
Right.
Some people believe that, when you hit 25, 30 years old, it's a downward spiral from there. And I met my wonderful wife, Nicola, and a little bit after that we were connected to each other. She was reading a book called Primal Body, Primal Mind by a wonderful author called Nora Gagaudis. And Nick finished the book and she sort of suggested that I might like to read it. And this has sort of been a journey for us over the last 15 years. She generally finds great concepts and ideas and brings them to the table, pardon the pun, and I take a deep dive into them after she has presented them to me. And this book was the catalyst. It just made so much sense. It was based on ancestral eating, which the new book is, and many of my books have been on. Some people will call it paleo, ketogenic, carnivore, ancestral, primal are some of these names. But basically it's just eating old school. Meat and vegetables, seafood and vegetables, fruit, nuts, seeds, eggs, from the healthiest sources, And when I read that, it just clicked for me. It made so much sense. It's just common sense, but presented in a way that was easily digestible.
You're the Voice is brought to you by Trezor, the original Bitcoin hardware wallet company pioneering the development of self-custody for crypto assets since 2013, empowering individuals with an open-source device, enabling beginners and experts to easily and securely hold their coins. I find my Trezor super easy to use and recommend it to my friends and family.
Enjoy my 5% discount on Treasure products by clicking the link in the show notes and using the code FLAT.
So we went on the journey, and lo and behold, a couple of months later, I lost a chin. my inflammation started to disappear completely. Vitality was wonderful again.
How old were you, more or less, at that time?
What am I now? I'm nearly 52, so probably late 30s, early 40s, I would say. Yeah, I don't know. Probably like 15 years ago. So yeah, late 30s. And mental clarity switched on. I just felt better than I ever had in my entire life. And I was like, wow, there's something to this. And so I took a deep dive into that topic of paleo, ancestral eating, primal eating, and started interviewing doctors,
Right.
researchers, scientists, people that had the best evidence was people that had reclaimed their health from pretty very low odds of overcoming illness.
Right.
People were reversing type 2 diabetes, they were improving anxiety and depression, putting autoimmune diseases into remission, cancer, heart disease, the list went on and on. Parents with children with autism were having great responses and great outcomes with their children, that they were getting their children back slowly, but with huge improvements, which if you're a parent with a child that has been, that is on the autism spectrum, it can be what would be the best way to describe it? It can be a big ordeal for people, big change in their life. And when you start to hear the stories from parents that had just changed simple things in the diet and their children were responding so beautifully, the proof is in the pudding, as they say. So I knew that I was onto something here.
Right.
If it could work for me and it could work for, I don't know, millions of people out there. And I started sharing the outcomes on my Facebook page. At the time, I had 1.5 million to 2 million followers. And people would send in their before and afters, not only physically, but more importantly, how they felt.
Right.
And it got to the point where what you would call miraculous just sort of became the norm, just people getting better over and over and over and over again. So I started sharing that, as I said, and I shared thousands of stories of people that were reclaiming their health,
Right.
taking ownership.
Right.
They'd been down a lot of the, I guess, modern routes with specialists, going into hospitals, having pieces of themselves cut out or cut away.
Being customers of Big Pharma.
Yeah, and I'm a big advocate for modern medicine and also ancient wisdom. I don't think we should throw it all out and just be dogmatic and say,
right.
well, we can just eat our way to health, because it can help. But obviously it comes down to our belief systems as well. If you believe in a doctor can fix you, then chances are they might be able to. If you believe that food can help you, then there's a good chance that it can. Our beliefs are so powerful. So I started sharing all this information, started writing books, made a documentary called The Magic Pill, which ended up on Netflix, made a TV series called The Paleo Way, which I self-funded as well as the documentary.
Yeah.
And when these started to come out and become very popular, that's when my relationship with the media changed, very 180. Before that, I was the boy next door. I was celebrated on mainstream media. And as soon as I started sharing that you could get healthy by eliminating a couple of foods and focusing on organic, farmers markets, regenerative farming practices, wild sustainable seafood, that's when the attacks started coming from that world.
That was the trigger? Are you serious? Like, I thought there was something more to it.
No. And
It's
it was quite surprising to witness and to observe and to be a part of that.
Yeah.
that, I was like, why are you getting upset when
Yeah,
people are getting
exactly.
healthy?
Yeah.
You know, and the headlines started coming out. Pete Evans is dangerous. Pete Evans wants to kill your babies. Pete Evans is a crackpot. Just, I was like, wow,
What
okay,
the fuck?
here we go. And
I've hit a soft spot there,
I know,
a sensitive spot,
which made me more
which
curious.
you didn't even think that that's what's going to happen.
No, but
Here you are thinking, okay, great food, great produce, great health for people, like improvement of their lives. What could be negative about it?
that made me more curious.
Right.
Like, why?
Why? Yeah.
Yeah, why?
Uh-huh.
And not to be so blunt, but someone said, follow the money,
Uh-huh.
right? Which has sort of led me into Bitcoin too.
Right.
Fix the money, fix the world.
Right.
Follow the money.
What did you discover? What was rotten? Or where was the corruption? What does the trail look like?
You know, I don't want to I don't want to paint the picture that there's nefarious forces out there. So the way that I see it is doctors go into their profession, a lot of them to help people. Dietitians go into their profession to help people. The media, I believe, the journalists go in there to
Inform people.
And help people along their journey. So I believe people go into these different professions for authentic reasons, with integrity. And along the way, they are taught a certain methodology or philosophy or certain facts. And I've interviewed hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of doctors, and the ones that I've interviewed, they all say the same thing, is that it took them a great deal of courage and bravery to ask the question, why are my patients not getting better with the information that I'm sharing? So they break the mold of their industry to go and do further education. And it could be on nutrition, it could be on holistic medicine.
Right.
You know, what's another tool that I can learn to add to my toolkit to help people? Because this is really what I want to do, is help people. And if I help people, probably I'll get more customers or clients or patients or whatever you call it. So the brave ones break the mold.
Right.
And a lot of the doctors that I've interviewed, they say the reason that to become a great doctor is not to question the model. So for them, it takes, as I said, a great deal of courage to break that mold for them, because they're sort of indoctrinated into a way that this is the way that we do it. Don't ask questions.
Here are the protocols, follow them.
Yeah. And no doubt that's probably the same in journalism and
Right.
the
And in
dietetics
media,
institution.
you saw the same? Like with
Probably.
TV and...
Well, COVID was a great eye-opening experience, because I have friends that are doctors and paramedics and nurses. And what they told me through the early stages of the COVID hysteria was that in the hospital system, they said, Pete, you got to understand that the public is getting brainwashed through the mainstream media. They said, times that by 10 if you're in the hospital system or the healthcare system. The amount of propaganda that is being pushed into that industry
Right.
to make sure that there is no wavering in that industry.
Mm-hmm.
They said you would have no idea how and I don't like to use the word brainwash, because I don't think people can be brainwashed.
It's a pressure cooker. Yeah.
But hugely influenced in those industries. So, and I feel for those people that went through that period, because if all you're being influenced by is one narrative, it would make it very difficult to step out of that narrative and ask the question, why? So I don't even know if I've answered your question.
Yeah, of course you did. Of course you did.
But yeah, that's
Okay.
where the
But
I
we'll
guess
dive
the
deeper.
the switch came
Yeah.
from being the boy next door to being, I guess, public enemy number one, to a certain degree in Australia because, and again, when we talk about COVID, there were very few people with a high profile speaking out about questioning the narrative at that particular point in time. Now there seems to be a lot more people that...
Of course. So you were cancelled a few years before COVID already. So when
not so much cancelled,
But-
but definitely...
kind of the shifted the attitude towards you.
yeah, what started first was the ridicule
Yeah.
and I guess planting the seed of doubt for people.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, my wife and I have been running a wellness retreat for 4.5 years now, and it's fascinating talking to the guests because the guests often say they can't even tell their family that they're coming to the retreat,
You serious?
and I say why?
You're so controversial?
Because I am so controversial that they're fearful to tell their family that they're coming to have a beautiful weekend with myself and my wife. And I find that really fascinating because they tell me that their families think that I'm a crackpot and that I'm crazy and that they're joining a cult or something
Oh
like
my
this.
God.
We're going to spend some time in
It's
nature and eat some really
insane.
good food. And
Well, I urge my Aussie audience to check out Pete's retreat on his website urgently. All right. And how did it personally affect you when that attitude started changing and then later when COVID came and there was another second round of attack?
I won't say it personally changed me because
How did it affect you?
it, as I said, it made me more curious.
Right.
Right? And here's the thing about being a professional chef is you learn to be very, very tough very quickly.
Right.
Right? It's a high pressure industry,
Right.
and the weak do not survive in that industry.
Yeah.
And when I entered the industry as a 17-year-old, I was very weak.
Mm.
Like I was unsure of myself. I was shy. I was being in the culinary industry definitely taught me a lot about how much I can deal with physically, emotionally, and some might say spiritually.
Mm-hmm.
and then owning your own restaurant
Right.
from the age of 19 with my brother and a couple of other fellas. Being an entrepreneur toughens you up.
Absolutely.
Then going on the path to be in the public eye
Absolutely.
toughens you up
Yep.
in so many ways.
Mm-hmm.
And from somebody that had I guess throughout my life, I've looked for where my insecurities and weaknesses are and fears. And one of my huge ones was public speaking, being seen, big waves, being judged, all of the, being picked on, bullied. And so I have put myself in the situations to confront those fears
Well
and
done.
work through them.
I love it. Yes.
So when the media attack started happening, I guess I leant back onto a lot of my adaptation to being in the culinary industry.
Right. You had the tools.
I had the tools. I had the endurance, the stamina, the strength, and some might say the stamina to go through it without it
Shaking you up too.
destabilizing me.
And you had the center.
Well, the centre has been an evolving
Yes.
process for me, and obviously diet and lifestyle choices have helped a lot. My curiosity into psychedelics as well has been a wonderful teacher.
Yep.
Obviously, the support from my family and my wife has been, hugely, hugely valuable and so important for me as well. The trust that they have in me and the love and support that they have in me, unwavering as well.
Beautiful.
So I thank them for their unconditional love and support.
Beautiful.
And different modalities and therapies that are out there. I've always been very curious to explore the question of who am I? at the very core level.
Yeah.
And there's wonderful therapies out there, whether it be breath work, meditation, neuro-emotional technique, which is an applied kinesiology, which has been hugely beneficial for me in my past and currently. As I said, the exploration into psychedelics. If you ask the question, who am I going into a
Absolutely.
psychedelic experience?
Oh yeah, I've done it several times.
Buckle up.
It's just it's such a miraculous path to choose. I believe, sorry for barging in, it's just you inspire me so much. But when I did my mushroom trip several times, every time I felt like it was another spiritual experience, another spiritual experience. It's not a party thing. In contrast to what people may think, it's not about taking drugs. It's about getting closer to who you are and allowing this beautiful plant. It's not plant, but that medicine, that I call it the key and the lock. We have the lock here, and the mushroom is just the key to open it up. And you can really dive into higher dimensions, different dimensions, and see yourself in different ways that you can't see yourself in this earthy 3D reality that we live. And you can experience something else, and it gives you a sneak peek into places that are normally hidden from our view. And I just felt like, after I've done mushrooms several times, it has changed me forever. And it kept something open in my consciousness. And I can keep on building on that. It's just a beautiful thing. And it does not make you addicted if people are afraid. So don't worry about that.
Tired of feeling like your freedom and future are fading away? Do you live in a country with growing inflation, crazy housing prices, weird culture, and a chaotic economy? You're not alone, and my friend Mikkel Thorpe and his team at Expat Money can help. Mikkel is the world's leading expat consultant on a mission to free you from broken systems. He's been an expat for 25 years, lived in 9 different countries, and has helped hundreds of people with second residencies and passports, offshore banking, international investing, and many other essential tools. If you're serious about protecting your wealth and your family, it's not enough to hope things will get better. You need a plan B in another country. The team at Expat Money can help you build it legally, safely, and without wasting years of research. Visit expatmoney.com/eflat and leave your details for a follow-up. In a world hypnotized and sleepwalking towards totalitarian control and digital enforcement, awakened voices rise to inspire change and radiate hope. In December 2024, I had the honor of hosting Professor Matthias Desmet at a conference I produced called New Totalitarian Order. This masterclass is now recorded and available to watch. The conference explores the psychology behind global mass processes, offering a behind-the-scenes look at science, economics, and human potential. It addresses challenging global agendas, mass formation, transhumanism, consciousness, societal change, and the path to transformation. Click the link in the show notes to access 3.5 hours of exclusive presentations, in-depth content, and my fireside chat with Professor Desmet. Use my code EFRAT for 10% off. I hope you find great value in it.
I'm a student of life, and I'm a student of myself. And once you have experienced complete ego death and death in the process of a very powerful psychedelic experience, when the media attacks you, I equate it to like if you're outdoors and you're cooking a meal and there's a fly buzzing around you. That's the media. Like, it exists.
Yeah.
It's serving its purpose.
Yep. It's
whatever
doing what
that
it
may
needs
be.
to do. Yep.
But I'm not going to let it annoy me or frustrate me. I'm just going to okay, cool.
And definitely not stop you.
It can't hurt me.
Nah. Yeah.
It can't hurt me. And so that's how I view the media and anybody that, because I respect everybody to have their own opinions, beliefs, whatever it may be. I certainly have boundaries, I'll let you know if you cross them.
Absolutely.
But as far as writing ridiculous stories, I believe, and lies and untruths, I believe that is absolutely perfect because it invites people to be more curious as to why would they write such things about somebody
Yeah.
that like that.
Yeah.
And it's been fascinating because so many people have said, I saw how the media treated me, and they didn't treat me. They're just part of the game,
Yeah.
which opened my eyes to exploring some of the things you were talking about.
Right.
So they were so grateful that the media did that, and I'm so grateful because it couldn't have happened any other way.
Absolutely.
I've created this experience for myself. Like I could have chosen not to write any recipe books about improving health. I could have chosen not to speak out during COVID. Like, everything is energy, and once you put something out there, you are responsible for it.
Absolutely.
Right? I could have been responsible for closing my mouth as equally as I am for opening my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And no judgment and no concern about what would happen from that. Because at the end of the day, I do have a choice, and I chose this path.
Yes.
And I take full responsibility and accountability, and I refuse to play the victim
Yeah.
card in any aspect of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And if I do, I'm very quickly reminded of, you're playing the victim. You've created this for yourself.
Yep.
Right?
You're
Own it.
You're speaking me. Keep going.
Own it.
Yeah. Own it.
And I believe that is where true freedom resides, is when we take responsibility and accountability for everything
Radical.
that happens
Yeah.
to us.
Yeah.
And that can be really a big pill for people to swallow. And they will present a situation or experience that can counter that. But from my belief is that we do create every experience in our reality as an opportunity to learn more about ourselves.
Yeah.
And when I come at it with that curiosity, how did I get here? What were the choices that I made or not made?
Mm-hmm.
And what have I got to learn from here? And sometimes the answer isn't immediate.
Clear. That's right. That's right.
And that's why I like the mystery and the surprise of it all.
Right.
Is that maybe in 5 years' time I'll look back and go, oh, fuck, no wonder that happened then.
Exactly. Yo, that's exactly what I wanted to say, because oftentimes we walk our path because we have this conviction and this calling, and we know that that's what we're destined to do. And this is how we should be because it's just so clear to us. And we have no fucking clue why we are creating these opportunities. And it's okay. But once you do that enough times, you build the conviction that it happens for your highest good. That you will know, even if you don't know right now, the way will show it to you. Like it will unfold at one point for you to be able to look back and say, oh, it falls into place. I get it now.
Yeah.
I understand why I chose that. And that is such a beautiful, humbling experience. And it also makes you even more faithful for the future, because you know that everything that will happen will be for your highest good once again. So you just trust more, and you trust yourself, and you just go for it with less hesitation, with less fear. I just love that.
Yeah, there's something that I've learned in psychedelic experiences, that everything is always perfect, always has been, always will be. Because it can't be any other way.
Yeah, that's right.
It can't be.
It is what it is.
Here we are now.
Yeah.
It can't be any other way. We've created it.
Uh-huh.
You know, and once I sit in that space, it takes away stress, it takes away anxiety, it takes
Yes.
away, it's like, okay, deal with it. You're right. Deal with the situation you're in now because you've created it. And this is a wonderful situation. Here we are. We're in Prague having a conversation about this. And it's like Bitcoin. And I know probably I'm jumping ahead.
Jump.
Bitcoin was this wonderful opportunity, invitation in my life.
Yep.
As I said just at the start, like I never thought I'd be talking about money or finance or wealth.
Right.
But here I am. And there was something in Bitcoin that just made me curious. I was like, oh, fuck, I'm going on this journey with Bitcoin. Why? Like, I asked myself, why? I don't know. But there's something here. There's something here. And 5 years later, 6 years later, however long I've been curious about this.
We've got that Bitcoin symbol on the book.
I got a freaking book now, speaking at the Bitcoin conference in Vegas and here. And not that really is important for me, but the journey along the last 5 or 6 years has really opened my eyes into another sector that previously I had shut down as something that I didn't want to learn about. Why? Why did I not want to learn about this thing? This, one of the most important things in the world that we have created for ourselves is money and finance and wealth.
It's like the oxygen we breathe.
I was so reluctant.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And obviously I was reluctant because the solution hadn't been there. And now there's the solution. I believe it's the solution. It's like, got it. That's why it took me so long. That's why I was so reluctant.
Yeah.
Now it makes sense. And same thing with ancestral diets, primal diets. Got it. But also flexible and not rigid to think that this is the be-all and end-all as well, that I'm going to die on this hill of paleo or primal or ancestral diets.
Right.
It seems to be the thing that helps the majority of people to eat this way for so many different reasons. Now, Bitcoin seems to be the thing that exists, and like dietary philosophies, there's a lot of different ones out there, like the shitcoins and altcoins. And I don't like to call them shitcoins. But for some reason, I think Bitcoin will be the one that is going to transform the world. Whereas I think also primal ancestral diets has the ability to revolutionize the healthcare system, the health of the fucking planet. I've seen it. And it's so fascinating that these two are intersecting for me at this particular point in time. Because over the years I've asked so many doctors, how do we get people to change the way that they eat? They're like, oh, I wish we knew how to do that. And when Bitcoin came along, I was like, Bitcoiners are the people that think outside the box. With hundreds of millions of Bitcoiners potentially in the world, perhaps they're the ones that are going to move the needle in regards to health, because they've worked out sovereignty for wealth, and obviously they want to accumulate their wealth and hold their wealth for as long as possible, and to do that you need to be healthy. So perhaps the question will be answered by the Bitcoiners, and the Bitcoiners, I believe, after meditating and thinking about it, they might hold the key for a radical change in the healthcare systems around the world.
Interesting.
Yeah, because they're already outside.
Yeah.
They're critical thinkers.
Yes. Is that one of your core messages that you deliver in your talks? Now at Prague, before in Vegas? Like,
I'm still working on it. But
what is important for you to tell the Bitcoiners that you speak to them at those, or even in the book? Like,
I want to orange pill the health conscious people. There's no point being healthy if you don't understand the other side of long-term regenerative wealth as well, for your kids and generations to come. And for the Bitcoiners, there's something magnetic about and inspiring when you see people that are switched on and healthy, you know. The vitality, the sparkle in their eyes, you know. And being at the Bitcoin conference, I could see that spark in people's eyes, you know. It's like they're on this, they've found something that resonates deeply in them. And people get this through all different aspects in their life, you know. Some people get it through physical activity, you know, finding their passion of the sport of passion or exercise of passion. Some people find it through their creative pursuits, being an artist or a musician, an author, whatever it may be, expressing ourselves creatively. Other people find it through cooking and changing their health, and they get that spark of vitality. And you know, one of the games that I play with myself is to look when I'm walking around the public, whether it be an airport or a mall or anywhere. Can I spot the people with vitality?
That's cool. That's a cool game to play.
Without being judgmental to think,
I understand.
that person doesn't have it, or what's the matter with them, you know, but it's just, can I find and resonate?
Because you can. Yeah, you definitely can. It exudes from certain people. Yeah, the energy.
And I feel at this point in the time is a small percentage at the moment.
Absolutely.
Because if you look at the population of the Western world, so many people are overweight, obese, chronically ill, on so many pharmaceuticals, whether it be antidepressants or this, that, and the other. So the energetic or the vitality of a lot of these people is not perhaps at their peak.
Absolutely.
But I believe that this is coming if people choose to have it. And how does, you know, going back to the question, how does this happen? Because you can't force people to change their lifestyles. And I would never do that. We've witnessed one side of that with COVID.
Yeah.
You know, you must mask, you must stay indoors, you must do this, you must, like, fuck, who are you to tell me what to do?
Exactly.
And I choose not to be that in the health space or the Bitcoin space or any space. People have to choose to explore this if they are curious about it. And how do you get people curious about it? Perhaps it is that magnetic vitality that is just too hard to ignore. You know?
I believe that also intellectually, I agree with you that you see a much higher ratio of people in the Bitcoin community that is more switched on and more caring about very different areas of their lives, not just Bitcoin. And that spark in them is very, it's very inviting, and it's very, it's kind of magnetic. Like you get magnetized to certain types of people in this community. And it's not by coincidence. And I think that when you're part of a group that really cares about certain areas of life, intellectually, if you are able to show them that the same kind of curiosity and strive for healthy, good solutions that exist on the financial level or Bitcoin level or whatever it is, money, you need to spark their interest in the same way on other areas of their lives, because that is a pattern that I did recognize here in the Bitcoin community, that like they are so obsessed with the money and the Bitcoin and the wealth and all that, like preserving your energy, which is all great and it's true, but now kind of try to expand to other areas of your life. Are you bringing the same level of curiosity and conviction to the other areas of your life? And if not, why? And I just spent like 5 days with a group of beautiful people when we went hiking in the Grand Canyon, and most of them are young. I mean, younger than me. I was the oldest there. They're in their 20s and early 30s, and they are all Bitcoiners, and they have this beautiful curiosity about life, and they obviously understand the the benefits of saving and looking deep into the future and planning. And these are things that most 20 years old don't do. And then at the same time, when one of them doesn't feel good, they straight away start talking about some big pharma products and vaccines. And I'm like, hold on, I get this buzz in my head. Have you questioned this industry, the food and the pharma, the same way you have questioned the money industry, the finance industry? And with a few questions, you can see they haven't. And then you start providing some information and some answers to questions they have. And you just put question marks on things for them so that they can go and explore it should they choose to.
Yeah.
Obviously, I would not tell them what's true and what's not. I would just open the door for them. And they were open. And that was so beautiful. And that's why I agree with you that there is something in this community that is inviting for a further exploration of other areas of life. So this intersection that you bring of regenerative health and then wealth on the other side is just so beautiful. So can you talk a bit more about where they meet, that intersection of those two topics?
Yeah, I guess we could proof of work.
Right.
Right.
You
have to work on this and the work might be resourcing, searching out regenerative farmers.
Right.
Whole foods, or farmers markets. It might be learning to cook.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Because
something that many people are afraid of or don't like. Yeah.
Well, Safadine wrote that beautiful book, The Fiat Standard, which I recommend everybody to read, as soon as possible.
Yeah,
it's
here behind you. Yeah.
It's such a powerful book, and that I think can health pill a lot of the Bitcoiners. It paints a beautiful picture of how corrupt that system, the health and food system, it is. And it's corrupt for a purpose, for people to make money.
Yeah.
It's not corrupt in a way I don't think, to make people sick. That's just the byproduct of it. And obviously, when people are sick, other industries
there's
enjoy that.
A very clear incentive structure for all the actors in that game.
For that system to continue.
Right.
And so, if we talk about proof of work, it's like, okay, well, do you know how to cook? And if not, are you curious about how to learn? Because it is so simple.
Right.
It's a list of ingredients, certain method, desired outcome, rinse and repeat. And it can be as simple as frying an egg in a pan with some good quality fat. How hard is that? Seriously, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Next stage, once you've mastered that, learn how to poach the egg, learn how to scramble the egg, learn how to make an omelette. You can go on a whole egg discovery master cooking class and become the master egg maker. And if you go on Instagram, most of the people I follow on Instagram are chefs. And, watching how everybody, and I was watching something the other day, how the Japanese make their omelettes.
It's a whole art.
Oh, with ground up shrimp.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it was like proper. And but then learn how to cook a piece of fish, learn how to grill a piece of fish, learn how to steam a piece of fish, learn how to make a fish curry or a seafood curry, then go on to cooking a piece of steak. Start with a minute steak if you like, a nice flat piece. It takes you a minute.
Yeah.
Graduate to the ribeye or the Scotch fillet or something with a bit of thickness, and then learn how to roast a chicken, learn how to make a broth, then a soup. Like it's so
work.
simple,
Yeah.
but you have to consciously choose to do it. Consciously choose where you get your ingredients from, who you support in that community. Will it be the regenerative farmer or the sustainable seafood or the organic farmer or the spray-free farmer? Will you support their economy to keep doing what they're doing? So more and more of the conventional producers and farmers and ranchers start to opt into this system as well?
Yeah.
Will you pay them in Bitcoin, the ones that accept it,
Beautiful.
to start that process? So, and Bitcoiners talk about the trust
Yeah.
issue, and then can you trust yourself along this way, and can you validate the changes? And I talked about my changes in a month or two, losing a chin, losing the bloating, losing the inflammation, getting the vitality. We can validate as we go along this journey.
Yeah.
Like, is it working for you? Is there something that needs to be tweaked? Everybody is individual. Some people do not respond well to eggs, for some reason. For some, there are many reasons why people can't have peanuts or nuts and eggs these days because of certain medical interventions that children have. So there's not a one-size-fits-all. Can you trust and validate your own journey and not just put it into my hands or an influencer's hands or a personal trainer's hands?
Exactly.
And become your own
in an
detective.
expert's hand.
You are the expert.
You are the expert. Yeah.
Again, self-responsibility, accountability.
Yep.
Some people thrive on a carnivore diet for a period of time. And that might be a month. It could be 10 years. Safadine. He's told me when I interviewed him, he's been carnivore, meat and salt and water for pretty much 8 years now. He's thriving. Fantastic. Other people might find tomatoes or eggplants, nightshades, can cause inflammation, especially for people with autoimmune diseases. So they might need to take them out of their diet for a period of time.
But they do need to do research and get to know themselves better.
Correct.
Yeah.
So validation.
Yes.
And then we talked about there's the energy aspects of it,
So yeah, let me frame my question to get you to speak about that as well, because one of the things you just mentioned now is like spray-free farmers, for example. So we know that today a lot of the food that we consume, even if we go to the effort of finding the right farmer and buying organic and get the best produce and everything, it still could be full of chemicals because of the spraying in the skies, because of, the chemtrails that we see, because it goes into the soil, the water, and it's very hard to prevent from finding raw ingredients that are perfect. We know what kind of environment we live in. So how do you, and we talked about it on the car on the way here, and I would love you to repeat what you said, because I find it so important for people to hold that level of consciousness around what they eat and what they put in their body.
Yep.
So how do you see this influencing us?
Oh, wonderful question. Thank you. Let me take a step back that if you eat all the organic food, non-inflammatory food in the world, it isn't a cure-all. Fluoride-free water, it isn't a cure-all, because you might be in a relationship that is not great for you,
Right.
which can cause disease
Right.
in your body and mind and spirit. Same thing if you're in a career or whatever it may be. Your stress on your life is your medicine. It's for you to discover what causes you stress, what, as you said before, takes you out of being grounded or in balance or harmony.
Yeah.
And every person's life is completely unique and different from anybody else's. So to be the curious observer to your life story, and especially the one that you tell everybody, right? Our words are so powerful, and if we keep repeating our victim story or our story over and over, it just every cell in our body is listening to us. So no matter if you go, okay, I'm going to eat that because somebody else got healthy by eating that, but you're still in the same patterns of belief about who you are, that you're with a horrible husband or a wife, or my kids are this, or my parents did this to me, blah, blah, blah. I'm not discounting anything because it's real.
Yeah.
But how do you respond to that, and how can you create a new story for yourself? So in saying that, food can be a very powerful tool. And as I said, billions of people have improved their health through just that one change. To answer your question, though, about how do we deal with things they're spraying in the sky and whatever they might be injecting into the animals these days.
Exactly. It can come from various sources, right?
I have a view on this that may be triggering for people, if I'm allowed to use that word. But it's what I believe in, is that our belief systems are so powerful that if you believe something is going to hurt you or make you weaker, then guess what? That's probably going to happen. If you have full trust in the infinite wisdom and ability of our bodies and our minds and our spirits, for us to be on this journey of self-discovery and self-empowerment and sovereignty over everything, how we think, act, and believe, then that is could be a wonderful place for you to reside. That no matter what they spray in the air or on the food, there's always a solution, and the solution could be you and how you view your body as this remarkable machine that can detox everything.
Mm-hmm.
And for some, you might like to look at some of the solutions or options that are out there, whether it be having a sauna once a week, because we know it can help detoxify the body.
Right.
There might be certain herbs or supplements
Exactly.
that you might investigate. And I'm not recommending anything for anybody. Ice baths, meditation, physical activity, going to bed a bit earlier, less doom scrolling, hugging a tree, whatever it is, more time in
Exposing
nature.
to sunlight. Yeah.
And just identifying, going back to what I said earlier, about where you can identify your insecurities and weaknesses as an opportunity to perhaps strengthen them, or just to observe why you think this way. I know people that get sick because they've sprayed the sky, but they believe that they're going to get sick. Whereas if I'm living in the same area, I will not get sick because I do not believe that can harm me. But do I also take actions in my life to eat organic and spray-free and to minimize or to maximize, I should say, everything in my power?
Absolutely.
To deal with this time frame that we are in at the moment. Right. And perhaps we need the sprays, but the skies being sprayed at the moment for people to look up.
To trigger that curiosity of what do I need to do to make myself stronger and resilient?
And I believe COVID was
another invitation,
a huge invitation for people to, because when that was happening, even though I spoke out, I was like, trusting everything's perfect. It always has been. It always will be. This is great.
Yeah.
Can we predict where we'll be in 5 years? Now, Bobby Kennedy Jr.'s in Health and Human Services in America with some of these doctors that spoke out at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Who would have thought?
Absolutely.
But if we have a question mark, why are we going through this? Why are they spraying the skies? Why isn't that most of the people aren't aware of this at the moment?
Yeah.
Put the question mark on it. I do not know the outcome of this, but I trust in this, that this is absolutely perfect. And probably in 10 years' time, we'll look back and go, got it.
Uh-huh.
We will never have to go through this period again.
Beautiful. Because
it happened then. Right? And we can look at that through everything that's happening in the world currently, if you choose to.
It's always an invitation to choose. When the pressure started around COVID vaccines, they're the genetic therapies, the products. My dad, many people obviously try to pressure me to take in it, and my dad was one of them, and he was asking me, why wouldn't you take it? And I told him, well, why would I? Look at me. I'm 40 years old. At the time, I'm healthy. I'm young. I'm a mom to one boy who is super healthy. We eat well, we sleep well, we have a great life. I have a great body. I trust my body. Why would I need to do this to my body? If this virus comes, I trust that my body can handle it, and I will help my body in whatever way I need to help it.
Bingo.
And he was like, yeah, but work, yeah, but flying, yeah, but, restaurants, shopping center, all that. Bring it on, dude. I don't give a fuck. I have such conviction in my body and what it can do that I would incur any limitation on my life, but to not ruin this altar that I have. No way. I can handle it. And obviously I did. I got COVID, whatever it was, like that virus. And 5 days later, I was fine with oils and vitamin C and D and everything I needed to. And then, by the way, I published this beautiful booklet, this protocol that I was using it when I was sick to get better with no pharmaceuticals. I've just taken herbs and did a lot of steam, how do you call it? This steam...
Saunas?
Saunas, yeah. To like breathe a lot of steams with
yeah.
mint and stuff in the water. And so I published it on X to show people what I've done to cure myself within 4 or 5 days. And people told me that people are going to die because of me.
Well, I shouldn't laugh, but sometimes you got to laugh.
I don't think anyone died because of me or because of my recommendation. I took this protocol from this doctor or naturopath that put it out there. It was such a great protocol that I felt the compelling need to share it so people can help themselves as well.
Again, going back into the psychedelic experience, one of the things that I believe through the experience is the idea of paradoxes. Two things can exist that seem completely opposite ends of the spectrum at the same time, depending on the observer and their belief. I have friends that don't believe COVID exists, that viruses exist.
Right.
Right?
Right.
That there's the germ theory and then there's the terrain theory people. And I'm like, what if both can be true, depending on your perception and your beliefs? Because I know people that catch colds. And I know that there's other people that don't catch colds because they don't believe in it. Who's right and who's wrong? And who am I to judge, whether there's COVID, whether you can catch virus, whether you can't catch one?
Yeah.
Can we manifest sickness in our bodies through our beliefs? 100%.
Absolutely.
Can we heal ourselves or perhaps stay healthy because of our beliefs? 100%.
Absolutely.
Who's right and who's wrong? The person that is believing their thoughts, their actions, their behaviours, the whole thing. So I would never say to someone that you didn't catch it. Like you've just said, you just caught COVID. Fuck it. Well done. I'm glad you caught it, And
I call it that way because...
And somebody else, I never had it.
Yeah.
Because I don't believe I can catch it. I don't believe you can catch a cold or this or that. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Sweet. Like, how cool is that? That's the paradox.
Absolutely.
The duality, the polarity.
Just be okay with accepting it, living in such a reality that it all exists and it's fine.
It all exists. There's black, there's white, and everything in between.
That's right.
And I never go into good, bad, right, wrong. And because again, I just trust in it all, everything, at all times.
Right. And sometimes I feel like we obsess too much about finding the truth. And I love the truth, don't get me wrong. We all love truth, right? But sometimes we can just let go. It doesn't really matter all the time. Whether we get to the bottom of things or not. In some cases, you want to expose some scammeries and, corruption. I love doing that, right? That's what I do. But I don't obsess over it, meaning I will not sleep badly at night if I don't know the answer. It is what it is. If I come from the belief, the trust that everything is as it should be in the world, it should not turn my life upside down if I have not received pure, concrete, 100% certainty type of answers. It's fine. I can live with uncertainty.
There you go.
Right.
Not knowing and having the mystery and the question mark,
It's a beautiful place to be.
it can be very having uncertainty can be very challenging, and that there is to lean into the uncertainty and the mystery
Yeah.
if you choose to,
Yeah.
because my belief is that to have that mystery is so vital, because if we knew everything, right,
It would be boring. Yeah.
what are we here to explore?
What's there to
What's there to
explore?
learn?
Exactly.
And how do we grow if we know everything?
Right.
It's so I choose not to want to know everything. You know, if I go down a rabbit hole, I'm like, okay, that's far enough down that one. Let's go down a different one. I don't mean conspiracies or anything. It's just like Bitcoin. That's a rabbit hole.
Absolutely.
I trusted to lean into that.
Yeah.
And now with the culmination of the book, I'm curious as to know what's next.
Where is it going to lead you? Yeah.
What's my next creative expression? And I don't know. And I like that
I know.
uncertainty. It's like, oh, fuck, here we go. Like, can I remain grounded in balance and harmony without exactly knowing what the next steps are?
Yeah.
Yes, I can.
Love it. I love it. I'm kind of uprooted from my home right now because, the airports are closed in Israel and the war and all that shit. And so I left and I cannot go back. And it's fine because I have chosen to embrace a digital nomad life a few months ago. And look how life aligns with my choice. I can't even go back. So I'm kind of thrown into that reality where I don't know what's next. I don't know where I'm going to go. I have no idea what's coming. I do have a few things lined up till the end of the year, but I'm kind of open to experience stuff and to see what comes up. And that is on the one hand, beautiful place to be. On the other hand, can be daunting,
Oh,
right?
how cool.
Like, fucking hell, where am I? What am I doing? Where's my home? Do I have a home? Who am I? What is home? What is that thing? So I'm in this exploration mode and I love it. It is so interesting. I also am like, I shouldn't be talking about it, but, like relationship wise, also thinking about how do I meet people and how do people show up in my life? And there's so many magical things happening.
The question is the gift.
Yeah.
The question, the curiosity, without expectation.
Yeah.
When that detachment from a particular outcome.
Yeah.
I always find it really, because I've been doing podcasts I've interviewed 500 people, and currently they're on my subscription-based platform.
Yes.
And I don't have that many subscribers.
Uh-huh.
And when I go to ask somebody if they'd like to be on my podcast, and the question comes back, well, how many
Viewers, listeners.
What's your audience? I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know. I choose not to know.
Right.
And if that is
If that's your metric to decide if to come on my podcast or not.
I don't think we're going to have, this probably isn't going to work out.
Beautiful.
At this particular point in time. And so where I was going with that was, my belief is, even if I have one person that subscribes for $100 a year, which is probably what I've got, and it cost me money to keep that up. I was like, perfect. At this particular, over the last 5 years, that is the path that I've chosen. Instead of putting everything out there for free, let's actually see who and what that feels like without just generating content for the sake of generating content to be seen by as many people as possible. How do I sit into that space of,
Beautiful.
Maybe 1 person, 10 people, 100 people will get this, and that's okay. And the guests that I get to come on will resonate with that as well.
Absolutely. I love it. I mean, I think both you and I are people that are very much like we have successes behind us, right? We've done things, we've accomplished stuff. You are full of receipts, right? You have done so many things in your life. So you cannot say that we are people that don't care about the outcomes. Obviously, we do things because we do want to see them manifest in the world and making the kind of difference we want to make. But then coming from people like us, you don't always have to be attached to the outcome. You don't always have to do something because there is a certain goal that you are now putting in place and working towards. There is something so mechanistic and so tiring in working in that way always. I'm not saying there is no purpose for it in some areas of life, but sometimes it's so liberating to just let that go and say, I'm just being called to go in this direction. I don't actually know how it's going to turn out.
Yeah.
I don't actually know whether it's going to be beneficial for me or for other people or whatever, but I'm going to give it a go. There is something so magical and liberating about it that I love to do that. And I love that you do that too. I feel like not the only idiot here.
No one's an idiot. No one in the world's an idiot. But it's great. Like here I am in Prague, and took me 3 flights to get here. And I called my wife once I arrived, and I think, babe, I think, well, I know that this year I've done a bit of traveling.
Yeah.
And it's been great because it's made me want to be at home with you on our property more so than ever. Like, I've ticked that box. I'd be happy not to travel next year for a long period of time after this again, because catching flights doesn't interest me as much as it once did, and traveling.
Yeah.
Whereas being grounded and at home and not moving around really fills my heart and soul. And I already knew it, but this has reinforced the fact.
Yeah.
Going on this journey from Australia to Prague, I'm going to enjoy every moment that I'm here, like I do everywhere. But like, you know what? It just has reinforced that, where, like you're talking about at the moment, you're living this digital nomad life, and you don't know why.
Yeah.
Potential is that for however how long this is, it could be the rest of your life, because you might flow with this and really resonate living this life.
Yeah.
Or in 3 years' time, you go, oh, I went through that journey to end up here, and I love that journey, but this is really where I'm anchored now.
Uh-huh.
And again, then lose that expectation for how long you're going to be anchored there, and just experience that. And that's what, I guess, where I'm at the moment is we love where we live at the moment. And this trip has really reinforced
how much you...
But also not to have attachment to it, because once we get attached to it, then that can own you, whether it be a business, whether it be a brand, whether it be a location, or property, or a geographic area, or an identity or a character that you're playing. And so it's this I love the dance of attachment, detachment, finding what you like and then holding on, going, oh no, I don't want to hold on too tightly, because that restricts the flow and the flexibility and the spontaneity and the surprise and the mystery. So it's this constant sort of flow, this dance, this harmonic dance or coherent dance.
And I have got the chills, because as we're speaking, this idea comes to my head, which, this is completely not planned, and we're going to continue talking about it after we switch off the camera. But I have a feeling that we need to do a retreat at your place in Australia where we bring a small bunch of Bitcoiners from all over the world.
Awesome.
To your place and do something together for a few days, like something like I want your content. I want to consume what you have to give. I think I can give to people a little bit too. I think we can build something really awesome, and you're giving me and I can do whatever I want. I can travel, I can be in places, and a lot of my audience is asking to do like things that are deeper and more time, and this is what you do in Australia, and could be a great excuse for people to come down under and experience your. By the way, your place is gorgeous. I've just seen photos, but
Thank you.
wow.
Yeah, Nick is my wife, and we would love to have Bitcoiners there.
Oh,
we,
dude.
we would get
no
along
pressure,
really well.
right? But
No
I
pressure.
just thought about it now, and it's like, fuck, we need to do this. This is going to be awesome.
My wife serves a beautiful tea ceremony, and we facilitate breath work. We got ice baths, saunas, float tanks. We do the food. We have
And
no
the
staff.
nature.
No staff.
No staff at all?
Yeah, we bring in body
So we
workers.
can do everything ourselves.
Yeah.
That's the best.
Yeah, after 20 years of running restaurants,
And how many people can stay in your property?
I decided never to have staff. Well, I shouldn't say never, but
Ah,
not to have staff for a period of time.
that's cool.
I lived that life for a long time.
I love
How many people can we have?
Yeah.
We keep it intimate. So 8 guests plus yourself.
Wow.
Like really intimate. We're boutique.
Okay.
And the reason is that a lot of retreat spaces do hold a lot of people, but the land that we have is 20 acres for
Yeah.
the retreat space. We have 7 cabins and a 2-bedroom house, and we live next door
Right.
on 180 acres with our horses and birds, and yeah, I love it. But
lucky 7 people can already start thinking about it. I'm gonna make it happen with you.
Yeah,
I
it's
have a
pretty-
feeling.
what we say is 99% of the experience is just to be in nature, and we just do a little garnish on top. But it's very special land. It's very ancient and very powerful,
I can't wait to be there.
and you don't have to wear shoes.
You're in if you don't like wearing shoes. All right, Pete, we're about to wrap up the hour and a half that we've been given. This
Wow.
was super magical, dude. I want to ask you, just to end on that note, what gives you hope?
Oh,
Yeah.
see, interesting. Hope is, yeah, that's a
Take the question wherever you want.
yeah. I choose not to use the word hope
Okay.
because it's predicting or wanting a specific outcome.
I get
to
it. Yes.
And again, that everything's not perfect at the moment.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
So anchoring yourself in the present.
yeah, pretty much,
Mhm.
yeah. And
So
with
I'll
that,
ask it a different
Yeah, yeah.
way. What kind of present do you enjoy the most? No, seriously.
wherever I'm at that moment, because again, it couldn't be any other way.
Just being
know.
all of who you are,
Yeah,
bringing yourself to the world.
I definitely have preferences. Good food, being with my family, lovely connections with new people.
Yes.
And exploration, and it's. I think we're living in the most amazing time, where we have so much to be thankful for.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on, and there probably always has been, and there probably always will be. And everything that's going on is an opportunity for us to learn more about ourselves, as I've said. So, yeah,
So keep up the exploration journey.
just be you
Yeah.
in whatever form that and expression that is. Our uniqueness is our superpower, and it's our gift. And I
And-
celebrate everybody on their journey and respect everybody on their journey.
Beautiful. And you are such a gift to the Bitcoin community. You're such a gift to me. I'm so glad we met. Thank you so much for your time, your wisdom, and sharing yourself so openly. It's so beautiful.
Thank you, Efrat, and thanks, Dan, for having us. And
Thanks, Daniel.
Trezor, and yeah, Prague. Love ya.
Thank you, world.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks for being with us. Please take a minute to give this episode a like, a comment, and subscribe or follow. And please share it with your friends so they can also get value and choose to take some positive action in their lives. Till next time.